Yo, what up, guys? This is your boy Victor Santana. Paid over to Craft and Growlers to do a podcast with Les, and he promised me he's gonna dress up as a wizard. Don't know how true that is, but Les is hilarious, a fun guy. So I'm excited for this podcast. Let's go. Cheers. Thank you for coming on the podcast, sir.
For a second time today.
Maybe fifth time today. Welcome, guys, to another week of Drunken Public. I'm your host, Victor Santana. My guest today, Les, a.k.a. the funniest man in DFW, a.k.a. the most knowledgeable man of rock music.
Look, we're not going to recreate what we just lost. We had a long conversation about music that you'll never get to hear.
Unfortunately, never. No, I think you definitely the funniest man in the beer game right now.
Who's my competition so I can go after him, like with a stick or something?
There's no one right now that I can see off the top of my head that's funny behind the bar. There's some people who I think are quick for comebacks, but not funny.
I've honed my skills right here at Craft and Growler on our open mic night, available today, Wednesday at 8:30.
Oh, that's right. Open mics back on every Wednesday now, or?
I actually don't know if that's true. I haven't checked our social media feed. We may have an event. I don't work today. I usually work on Wednesdays.
So another thing, man of his word, dressed as wizard. Anybody watching on YouTube or Facebook right now, you can see he's dressed as a wizard.
That's
Photo
what I was going
right
to.
there. He kept man of his word. He said he was. He did it.
Yeah.
He was going to flash people on TV, but he realized we can't do that.
I can. Is there no nudity on YouTube? I guess there's not. I haven't seen any.
There's no nudity on YouTube.
It's not like a porn site that's Xtube or something?
Nah, that's back in the days. That's old school YouTube.
Oh, did they have that in old school YouTube? I don't. Did they? Oh.
Little nipple slips.
Well, as Americans, we're very offended by the nipple.
I'm very offended.
Genocide, war, like destruction. You can show all that.
Threatening to kill somebody on regular primetime TV.
Correct. You show some bush hair, not the band, or or a nipple.
Or cleavage, just cleavage. Too much cleavage, you might be down for the count.
That's because we were founded by Puritans.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
It is. I think it is. Like,
come on, but that was.
I mean, there's news programs in Europe where the ladies are just topless giving the weather, which is probably the best way to get the weather because it's inaccurate. Like the weather is never accurate. Think about Stormageddon that was like last week where it was supposed to have like human-sized hail coming from it was golf ball, but you know,
human-sized hail.
Yeah. Tornadoes, all this stuff that never happened.
People covering up their cars with weird shit.
Because weather is volatile and can change at any given time, and you can only get such an accurate thing before poof.
But even when they say 100% chance of rain, that's not true.
Well, isn't there always a 50% chance of rain? Because it's either going to rain or it's not. Should it start at 50%?
It should start at 50 and go down from there.
Go up or down from that.
No, my coworkers, I work with not older people. My lab is pretty young.
Old people love to talk about the weather.
They
love
do.
Love it. Can't get enough of it.
They always check the weather every day. And every day I look at them. I might be like that one day when I turn 70. But
no, I think that's see, I'm in my 40s now. When my dad was in his 40s, he was obsessed with the weather. So I think it's a generational thing because there was a point in time when we were more agricultural, more fun. My dad grew up on a farm, so the weather was very important, and the weather is important for that type of thing. And it's I live in the middle of the frickin' Dallas suburbs. I live in old East Dallas. The weather isn't all that.
Rain, snow, it doesn't matter. I'm going to work.
Correct.
I'm out in the streets regardless.
It's not going to change my crops any. So,
no, this is very true. But I just don't, like I tell them every day, it's like, no matter what you do with the weather report, that's not accurate. They said 80% chance of rain. Okay, it's 50-50.
I asked there was some guy I randomly ran into like at a cafe who used to be a meteorologist, and I was like, hey man, I just want you to admit to me that you guess. He's like, well, you take certain information, and then based on that, you get a forecast. I go, you guess. Like, just say that you guess. It took me about 20 minutes to admit. He was like, well, it's an educated guess. I was like, still guessing. It's still guessing.
It's no difference between I'm gonna guess out the just guess right there, walk on the street like, hey, it's gonna be sunny in an hour. Let's see what happens. That's straight bullshit guess.
I mean,
versus
a lot of times you can go outside and smell the weather. You know, you can tell if it's gonna rain.
you can feel it. Yeah.
It's been raining all day today, actually.
But
it's gloomy.
It
like
might
a
be
wizard.
only 50% chance of rain today, even though it's been raining all day.
It's true. It's got to end sometime.
No, it's a meteorologist is a bunch of bullshit, and I hate when people pay attention to it too much. I hate it.
Well, what they want to do, and what any television station is going to want to do, is they want to make you not leave your house and watch TV. And so the threat of weather, increment weather, is going to keep you at home, especially if you're my age or older. Oh, well, I don't want to go out in that.
But let's get back to your point, like we don't, weather's not that important. Like, if it rains, it doesn't. But you know what is important? Traffic.
Well, I mean,
traffic's 99% more important to me than the weather.
Sometimes weather's going to be important, like hurricanes.
Yeah, that's it.
Tsunamis, tornadoes.
I don't know about tsunamis coming here in North Texas, but
I mean, they happen not to us. So I like that. You're like, no tsunamis in North Texas. I don't give a shit.
What do you think that's gonna happen to me? How much rain is gonna shut down? We're gonna flood everywhere around here. That's all I need to know.
That's why they do the traffic in the morning, like at whatever on the 10s or whatever they do.
But I go to work earlier than that. But yeah, that's what traffic is the only thing that matters to me. Like,
what time do you go to work?
I go to work at 5 in the morning.
So you've already been up since what?
I've been up since 3.
Yeah, my wife goes. We're both in the service industry. She works at Kubi's in Snyder Plaza, and it's a breakfast spot. So she gets up at 4 and goes to work at 5.
Ooh, yeah. So we're in the same boat.
Yeah. So I also wake up at 4 because the alarm goes off. I sleep in shifts. 4 hours before 4 and then 4 hours after 4.
See, at least you get the extra 4 hours.
True.
No, I hate it. I hate waking up so early, but I've always hated from like my ex-girlfriends that live with me that I had to schedule. Because I have like 15 alarms. I do not get up on the first alarm. No matter what I do my best to get up on the first alarm.
That's why you're waking up at 3.
Yeah.
Instead of like an hour beforehand.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So, because I could leave my house at 4 o'clock and be there plenty of time, but my alarm has to go off at 3, and I got to fight to get up. And I get up in shifts. Like the first shift is like I take off the sheets. Here, snooze. Next shift, I stand up, like I sit on the side of my bed and I sit there for a while, like sitting, contemplating my life. Then I get up, eventually 20 minutes after that, and then I go walk my dog.
So what time do you go to sleep?
Lately I've been doing good, like going to bed around 9-ish, but I shoot for 8, and I usually go to bed around 10.
Yeah, she's the same way. She'll be asleep while I'm playing video games or whatever.
Yeah, the same here. Like when I was living with my ex, like she'd want to watch, like eat dinner later than me because I usually ate early in the day, because I'm free by 1. So
yeah, she eats around 2 or 3. I eat then, but I'll eat whenever. Early, late, it doesn't really matter.
And then they want to watch TV, and I'm like, I'm gonna fall asleep. She's like, that's all right. It's my show anyway, so I'm like, on the couch, and then whenever she goes to bed, that's when we roll over, go to bed, and then I wake up a couple hours after that.
I'm generally just up playing video games indefinitely.
So that's a good life though.
That's yeah, we have generally Tuesdays off together, always, because otherwise we're not going to spend as much. Like I see her because I'm up while she's up.
Yeah.
Like you don't. At least me, I'm a light sleeper. So if I hear an alarm, I'm up. So I'm going to be up until she's gone. So she'll leave, and then it'll take me 20, 30 minutes to fall back to sleep. So by the time she's gone, I'm asleep maybe by 6 again. So,
and then wake up.
And then a lot of shifts start at 1:30 here for me. If I'm working on the weekends, sometimes it's at 6. I prefer those. Those are fun. I have to wake up as early, but
it is what it is. It is what it is. No, I was talking to this girl, really nice girl, very pretty girl, and I slept over her house one day, and she got up. She had one alarm set, and she got up immediately after that alarm came up. I was like, "Fuck that."
That's how I am. But I'm a light sleeper. If
So is she, but that's why I knew this. Like anything pursuing further with us was not gonna work out because I have 80 alarms just wake up.
Not necessarily. She could just shake the crap out of you until you wake up.
Hey, life, like what the fuck? Get out of here.
Yeah,
Go
get
away.
up. It's time to go. I have to. My wife refuses to get together. Get it all together without my help. So, like, I have to be up anyway. I get dressed and everything without help.
Just FYI.
Shots fired.
No, yeah, you're a better man than me, and I don't know. Yeah,
Doubtful.
But see, I don't know. My last girl I lived with, she's also like me, needed like 80 alarms to get up, and it was the worst. But she got an easy head start because I left earlier than her, so that started her like wake up mode. But she still slept for another 3-4 hours and then went to work. I was like, that's bullshit.
I mean, with me, I sleep on my days off more than I sleep when I work. Like, I just don't sleep well. I never have as a child. I used to get in trouble for it. My parents acted like I was just, I don't know, refusing to go to bed instead of not being able to. Like I was willful.
Like most kids, yeah.
Yeah, like I was just willful. It's like, well, fuck, I'm wide awake, you little assholes.
And the little assholes, your parents, FYI. That was a shot fired. Also, I forgot to talk about the beer we were drinking. I was drinking the Santa Fe wheat beer, which is surprisingly good. And it's 7%, which is also very surprising. Mind you, we lost about 25 minutes of the first part of the podcast.
It's true. I've had several beers since then.
Yeah.
I had a,
You had the Kolsch.
Yeah,
and
the
another
Kolsch,
one.
The other one, that Kolsch was from No Coast. It was all right. So was the lager from
Legal Draft.
Legal Draft. That's it.
But now I'm drinking, of course, Three Nations Stout, Banana Fosters. Delicious.
I'm gonna have a little KBS.
Oh, Stout Brothers.
From 2019. A good year for stouts, I guess. I don't know.
It's a great year for stouts.
Only time will tell. We're still in the beginning of this year.
I think it is a great salud, brother.
Now I'm gonna have to drink it. I wasn't ready.
You can drink all the time, sir. No, so how long you been working at Craft the Growlers, man?
Almost 2 years. September it'll be 2 years. So, yeah. I've bartended for 20. In 20 years of the service industry, I've done pretty much anything you can do. Cooked, bussed, washed dishes, server, bartender, manager. It's mainly what I've done throughout most of my life. This job is great because we're about to have some food, but that's not really going to change what I essentially do, which is just talk about beer. It's super. If you're not into beer, it's not great, but I'm into beer. So I spend most of my day just chit-chatting about beer. This particular bar is interesting because of the conversations that take place are probably by far better than other places I've worked out. There's always something interesting and something worthwhile of regulars or just random people who come in. The conversations are interesting.
That's why I keep coming back.
Yeah, it's a little gem for that particular thing. It doesn't. I mean, my last job was at Iron Cactus, and I never talked to anybody because I was in a speed well, making hundreds of margaritas a day, just sweating my ass off and shaking. I prefer this. This is much more tame, much more relaxed atmosphere, which is good.
Yeah. I mean, it's also one of the rare places that has such an open venue, too.
Yeah.
That most time people just sit in their own little corners and they don't want to talk to people. They don't talk to people. They go up to the bar when they want a beer or not. But it's one of the few places that has such an open venue that you guys seem somewhat detached from crowds of people back here.
Yeah.
If they come back here.
With the bar, if someone's sitting there as a bartender, you have to read whether or not some people want to be talked to, some people want to be left the fuck alone. And your money is conducive on reading that properly with who you need to chit chat with and who you don't need to chit chat with. Some people just want to come in and have a drink and not talk to a soul. Some people want to be entertained. Some people want to know more about beer than you do. so I allow that. It's amusing. There's people who will use like buzzwords, and you know they have no idea what they're talking about, but I guess they're either trying to impress their friends or maybe impress me.
Combination.
Yeah.
Combination.
But I don't care if you know more about beer than
my
me.
rule of thumb is that
I'm
when
okay
I
with that.
bartended, my rule of thumb when I bartended was this: I always allowed them to initiate. Like I'm always there, like, hey, the typical things.
Yeah. Your initial greet. Hey, thanks for stopping by, or whatever the hell it is.
What can I do to help you?
Yeah.
Is there anything you particular want, or you have any questions? Let me know. How you doing? And then from there, if they talk more, they talk more, and I'm always nearby.
You used to work at corporate bars that made you like, hey, thanks for coming to BJ's Restaurant and Brewery. My name is Les. How may I help you today? I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
That's not organic. What's organic is, hey man, let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, lucky for me, I only worked one corporate job, which was a golf course. And even then, they didn't make us greet ourselves because usually our name tag was on us and they could greet us. And then most people were regulars. So once they knew you, they remember your name and you remember their name.
Yeah, this is 75%, 85% regulars.
Yeah, so you don't really need to greet yourself, but I always try to remember my regulars' names, so I can say hi. And then after that, let them talk. Like, what you got something to say? You got something on TV? Because lucky as a bartender, for me, most of the time we had TVs behind me. So most of the time people come just to watch the game. So I let them watch the game. And I might watch the game with them too while I'm observing the bar.
Did you ever come here when Kevin owned it?
No. I just got into beer like maybe a year and a half ago.
It was a different type of thing. There were chalkboards up there. I feel like those TVs didn't exist, but I may be wrong. Maybe those TVs were there and those ones weren't. But it was kind of different. I like the layout better now.
Well, when you look at pictures of Craft and Growlers, and I'll probably put some pictures up right now. When you look at pictures of Craft and Growlers, they still have the picture of the original bar where they have the bottles here, and it felt very cluttered.
Yeah, there was a shelf here that. And then Kevin sold like home brewing stuff that nobody ever purchased. What Todd did was when he got this place, he got all that stuff. So he slowly got rid of that stuff.
Yeah.
And then didn't replace it because it wasn't. If something doesn't sell, like the posters, we don't need a bunch of posters. No one buys the posters. Like the things that sell here are the growlers, the crowlers, the beer. Everything else is kind of non-consequential, I guess.
Yeah, it's a bad business practice to have an oversupply of stuff you don't need.
Correct. And then now we're I don't know how far out we're on this kitchen, but it's
a few weeks out because they just waiting for a permit, right?
Well, yes, no. There's we just got the gas. We still need to get the Vinahood done. The problem is anything can take from a week or to 2 months, 3 months.
With the city, yeah.
Correct. Because the gas itself was supposed to be turned on 2 weeks ago. And it was the gas company dragging their legs on that. How many times can you call somebody? Like they call them over and over again. But that's the unfortunate side of things like this. But we also we're still operating in the meantime. So it's not like say for instance, Manhattan Project. Fuck, they were supposed to be open a year ago.
A year and a half ago.
Yeah, that's totally unfortunate. That's probably one of my favorite local breweries, if not my favorite.
I say it on this podcast all the time. They're my favorite brewery, period.
They don't make
They don't make a bad beer.
I don't like brute beers. Their brute beer is fantastic.
I don't like Gozas.
Yeah,
they Gozas
correct.
Good.
It doesn't matter what they do; they nail it every single time.
See, think about what I like about Misty.
And it's not just good; it's great. Like I've never had a bad beer from them.
What I like about their operation still, it feels like they've been around forever, and it feels like they're super big because they can sell out everywhere they go.
And they're gypsy brewing. They're not even brewing in their own facility.
No.
They're brewing wherever they can brew at.
Yeah,
like that's amazing that they're producing such good beer with such volatile
situation.
Correct. Yeah.
But I think the head brewer's name is Jeremy. Jeremy. I'm thinking that's his name. I may be wrong. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. But Jeremy, Kurt, and Misty, they all sample the beers together, and it has to be majority rules. Like two can't like it and one don't. If one doesn't like it, beer doesn't go out.
I got you.
And I like that process because they're still small, even though they can sell out everywhere, and they're very popular in my opinion.
They make, and it's such a small thing. They make the best Pilsner in Dallas.
Necessary
Period.
Evil, the best beer.
Period. I can't think of what the number 2 would be.
No, my number 2 would be my favorite beer my favorite Pilsner of all time, which is from my country, Dominican Republic, Presidente.
It's not Dallas though. I'm saying Dallas proper.
That's what I'm saying. The only one I could think of is from my home country.
Brain Dead does a couple of good Pilsners, and they're good, but I don't think
okay.
I think they're good, but I don't think they're close to what Necessary Evil is.
Exactly, because they're just okay.
Bicycle Pump just came out from Petacolis, also
I
good.
like that. I like that
It's
a lot.
good,
Yeah, I like that a lot. Necessary Evil
yeah.
has a nice little crispy finish at the end of it. Yeah.
Necessary Evil is super crushable. It's a great beer, even though it's a Pilsner.
I'm not a big fan of porters. Like, I love stouts, but porters is something like I like them, but they're not my go-to. They're plutonium 2 whatever. They're
249.
249. They're coconut porter, phenomenal. Their black manor, phenomenal. Their hazy IPA, phenomenal. The double IPA was fucking delicious.
Double Half-Life is a each time it gets better each time from
the batches.
Yeah.
I just had the hazy IPA. The new batch of the hazy IPA. That's really good.
That's the Double Half-Life.
No, is it the double Half-Life? Is the hazy?
It's one of them.
I think it's a different name.
Half-Life's hazy, but it's not like Double Half-Life.
But it's dry. It's dried hop. That's why it has a little hazy thing to it, isn't it?
Sure.
I think this is. I don't know. I think we're just talking, and we've been drinking way before this podcast started.
I could probably answer this question an hour ago when this thing started.
yeah, the film that we lost.
It's gonna be like the lost gold of
God, that was so much good shit on there. No, but
you guys can only dream of what we did.
Yeah,
there was crying.
There was hugging.
Yeah,
we also fought each other for a second.
True. Only magically though.
And I lost. And I lost. My blood was not strong. Manhattan Project is by far my favorite brewery. I say this all the time with no shame. Manhattan Project is my favorite brewery. I've been talking about them since the day I met Kurt 2 years ago. Like, he was our second or third guest on the podcast. I had the crew for Petty Colas. I love those guys. That's why I like Petty Colas.
Misty and him were in, and they had their kid with them. And what's funny, the kid was making some chaos and mess. She cleaned it up. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, I don't know, it's a small thing, but that was amazing because people don't do that. No one does that. Like, she cleaned up, she didn't have to. It's part of my job to clean it up. Mm-hmm. But it was amazing that she cleaned up the small mess.
Well, she takes responsibility, and they both do. But listen, Misty by far is my favorite person, man. But I love Kurt. Jeremy, again, I'm not sure that's his name. I keep saying Jeremy, but the head brewer over there, he's nice. He's super nice. Haven't had a long conversation with him yet, but I met him several times. Super nice guy.
It's his kid's godfather. You think you know the name?
Yeah, I should know his name. But Kurt's phenomenal, super smart, like one of the smartest people I've ever met. But Misty's by far, in my opinion, that holds them together is the best thing of that company. That holds them. She's a social media contact person, so if you ask them for any information, she's the one who contacts you. If you ever want to set up an event with them, she's the one who does it. Then she takes care of the kids. She also tests the beers. She also calls in distributions and stuff like that. Like, she literally takes care, in my opinion.
She's holding down the fort. 90%
of it, yeah. Even though Carl's the face of it.
You know, that you say that, but I feel that Misty is. I get what you're saying, but like, it's probably from this standpoint anyways. I deal with her more than I would deal.
Because you do with the kegs and stuff.
There was, before that international ladies event that we had, she called me by my name, and I thought, how does she know my name? And then she mentioned social media. Like, I'm more popular on social media than I think that I am, and it's always weird when someone knows me. It's like, I know your name because I deal with it. How do you know my name?
Because I'm nobody. Yeah.
It's one of those things. I'm just a bartender.
No, Misty's the best though. She mentions your name. She's very social. Like, I think she is 90% Manhattan Project.
Yeah. There's a lot of good breweries that sprouted up, like Oak Cliff. I like everything that they seem to do.
Well, I like the whole crew at Oak Cliff.
Yeah.
Jacob. I was gonna say Josh, but that's not his name. Jacob.
Todd,
and
Dominic, who's no longer there.
Not Dominic, but the Walker.
Walker, yeah,
Walker's
yeah.
super nice. I like Walker a lot, and he's
Walker's the Dominic since Dominic's gone.
Yeah, he's the Dominic. Yeah, exactly. No, I like their stuff, and then they have some amazing plans coming up. Listen, I just wish that people, they're still younger than Manhattan Project.
Well, they're not even a year old yet.
No, they're still younger.
Yeah,
No, but
yeah.
but the thing about it, I just wish that people talked about them the same way they talk about like Manhattan Project when they were coming up.
I agree. There's a lot of new breweries like Turning Point, Celestial. I like Oak Cliff better, like on a personal level, just because both Turning Point and Celestial do a lot of hazy stuff. So it's not really my thing. I drink them, but it's not my wheelhouse. I feel that Oak Cliff does more of everything. You know, they've got a stout, they've got a lager.
They got black lager. They got an IPA.
Yeah.
They have saison. They also have what's that one that just came out? The collab they did with Celestial.
Are you talking about the barley wine?
The barley wine. They came out with a barley
Super
wine.
Gravity.
Yeah. They come out with different things, and now not all of it's my favorite.
Yeah.
But they do it well.
Yeah, they
do it well.
That barley wine for me was super sweet, but I don't drink barley wines.
I feel like
Peticolas has the Duke. That's in my head is the first standout barley wine that I'm going to drink. I just don't really. I don't do a lot. I don't do like Belgium tripels. I don't do triple IPAs. The more the heavier it is with like content, not like alcohol content, but like hops, barley, whatever, malt.
Something that's not balanced.
Yeah.
You don't like. That's why reason why I think.
No, it's balanced. It's just a bunch of it. I don't like the ones that are a bunch of it.
That's what I mean with balanced. And I learned this from Carl. He's like, it's something that overpowers your taste buds to something, right? It could be a well-made beer.
If something's gonna overpower me, I want it to be hops. Some people want it to be malt. I want it to be hops.
And that's the thing about Manhattan Project, why I feel like they're killing the game right now, and why I think me and you both like them is each three of them have a different palate, so they always shoot for a well-balanced, well-made beer.
I think they try to represent the style traditionally and make a well-balanced beer instead of making this is a Goza, but we've dry hopped it. They're not doing something, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it.
They might do something like that in the future. We don't know.
Yeah.
But right now, when they first make these style beers or certain styles of beers, they make it the most balanced that they feel like is best for the three of them.
It's balanced and traditional, without being boring.
True, but I think that's why it's such a unique thing, because you got the head brewer who has been brewing for.
Where did he come from? Because I don't know his, a lot
Background?
of the brewings, I don't know their
I don't know.
background.
I don't know his. I got his resume in front
I
of me.
know Todd from Oak Cliff came from Prairie.
Prairie Hell, yeah. But no, I don't have their resume in front of me, or his resume in front of me.
You should.
I should
just carry it around.
My backpack.
It won't be creepy at all if you just carry around brewers' resumes.
I should.
And get their autograph.
I need your resumes, guys.
And
submit
weep.
that.
He wants to weep while you sign it.
Damn right. Sign that shit in blood. No, so I don't know his background, but he's been doing it for a while. I remember it was something like 15 plus years. And I could be also, because I was drunk when I met him at the festival, so I also could be making that up. So just throw it out there. But
you should make it up. You should make up things about him. He really loves golden retrievers, guys.
He does. It's like his favorite pet.
More
than his kids.
His name's Jeremy the Golden Retriever Dude.
Christian that's right.
name.
It's a very Christian name. Very Christian. Super Christian. But I think that's he's a brewer aspect, so he's doing the best he can. Then you have Carl, who's super, he homebrewed for a little bit, but he's super into the information. So he studies styles. He's into it. He's really big into keeping things traditional. And then you got Misty, who just similar as Carl, but she's more into what does she like. And I also could be just speaking for Misty, but I'm not 100% sure.
You should. You should be her marketing executive.
I don't know about executive, but I've been promoting Misty for years. Misty's my favorite person. Here's two things about Misty I've said on this podcast 1,000 times. I'm pretty sure people's tired of hearing it. People who do listen, I thank you. Misty, you know Teeny from the news report, the news article woman who does all the social media stuff here locally?
Are you talking about from The Observer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she did a podcast with us, right? And then she told me a story about Misty. Now I knew Misty was a badass before this. That Misty took care of all the social media stuff, and that's how I met Manhattan Project.
Somebody better die in this story.
Someone was born through the story. So Teeny's trying to set up a meetup so they could do an article about Manhattan Project. And Misty emails her back quickly. I want to say she said within 10 minutes. Says, hey, I'm about to give birth. We can set it for later this week. And Teeny replies back like, there's no rush on this. We can set it up whenever you feel ready. This article's not going anywhere. She's like, I'll hit you back up. And then 3 days later, hit Teeny up and set up a fucking meetup. Just giving birth to her second kid.
Sometimes you need to spit out children like a Viking and then do some beer meetups. You know, it's just gotta happen.
Yeah, I know, but that's like such a badass story, and I shorten it here, but that's such a badass story of like, okay, I'm giving birth, let me hit you up, and we can set up a time we can do this article. I hit you in 3 days, and literally hit him up within those 3 days and say, okay, I'm ready. Let's go talk. Mind you, just giving birth to your second kid.
It was the second one. There's no pressure.
Whatever.
Sure. I have no children, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Nor will I ever.
Nor would you ever give birth to kids.
I could. Science. I don't know. Science is crazy.
You're like 80 years old, Les. You're not going to make it for another 100 years.
Let's chop that number in half, and that's where I'm at. Speaking of people in beer, Michael Petticolis. Did you see that article about him in D Magazine?
Yeah.
It's pretty good stuff. What I got from that article, because I read in between lines, is why he's going like 100 trips back and forth to get his brewery in Dallas legal and ready to go. First one in like 100 years or some such. That Deep Ellum, on the back of his good work, came in and opened up before him. Did you notice? He's doing all the legal work. And then Deep Ellum Brewery opened up like a few months before he did. And there's no way they would have been able to open up a few months before him
without Michael
Petticolis doing the groundworks. They kind of skipped around that, but like, you know, it is what it is.
He probably didn't talk about it. That's that bullshit. Well, man.
Yeah. It is mild BS. But there's always going to be someone who is going to step over your work.
Of course.
But
who has the better beer, though?
Huh?
Who has the better beer?
Oh, Petticolis for sure.
By miles.
What do you got? Like 2011, 2012, Deep Ellum IPA was great, but there was also nothing else around, and it becomes the fact that it didn't stand up, and the fact that they don't continue to innovate. Petticolis has their core beers, but they also continue to innovate. How the beer market is now is you either have to have core beers or you have to have like Turning Point where everything's different. It's either or generally. But Petticolis kind of does both.
Well, that's what happens. That's the luxury of having core beers.
Yeah.
It does for you. Like, okay, Velvet Hammer, Sit Down, I'll Sit You Down, Crush, the Crush, or whatever the other one's called. The Duke. The Duke's not a core beer, but
what did you just make? A Crush?
Yeah, Crush.
I don't know what that is.
Is there?
I think you're making up a beer.
I think I am.
There's
mind you, I've been drinking.
There's Golden Opportunity.
I feel like they have a beer. You got your phone on you? I feel like they have a beer that says Crush or something.
I'm almost certain they don't. I will look it up. But the Golden Opportunity, Great Scots.
Great Scots, the other one.
Velvet Hammer, and Sit Down or I'll Sit You Down. Like back when Kevin used to own this place, those beers were always on tap, always. And the only reason they aren't now is Velvet Hammer always going to be. There's always going to be room for Petticolis stuff as well. It's just there's so many. There used to not be as many beers. There's like 72 North Texas breweries at this point.
And they're still growing, and they still each of them are producing different things.
The fact that they don't hold the 1 through 4 spot isn't because they don't deserve it. It's because the beer landscape has changed, and you can branch out and try. What Traffic Growler tries to do is have new beer constantly. We're almost every day, for the most part. Crush is what you're thinking. I think Crush is a Manhattan Project beer. So let's see, Peticolas. Let's type that. I'm certain that I'm doing this for no reason.
You might be, but I appreciate you doing it for me. I'm proving that I'm an idiot, and I've been drinking for a while.
My why is my phone not working properly?
Probably
There we
connected.
go. Oh, Crush It.
Crush It.
It's a session IPA.
I wasn't crazy, guys. It was Crush It.
He wasn't.
I said crushable, but it was Crush It.
I've had it. Clearly. Peticolas has I don't know if they still do it. They used to do this thing called Flight Club, where if you, Cranberry Crush is the Martin House, where if you, they filled up a bunch of random beer, and if you guessed what each of them were, like you got a certain percentage of it off, like on your bill for the flight. I can't remember what it was.
I don't want to play that game. It should be free if I guess all of them.
It wasn't, but no, I mean, you're still drinking beer. Why should it be free?
Yeah, but it's a game. Like, what am I playing this game for?
I get you. My point is, I went there, I tried that, and every single beer that I had on my board, the bartender was like, wow, I've never seen this before. You've guessed all the correct beers. He's like, you've got not a single beer that isn't on here did you guess, and they're all in the wrong order.
You fucking idiot.
Yeah. He's like, this is actually amazing. He's like, you've guessed all of them, but all in the wrong order. He's like, I've never seen this before.
Mind you, people who haven't been to Peticolas, you need to visit Peticolas. They're a phenomenal brewery.
They have a shuffleboard game in the shape of pants. That's worth it alone.
It's very
It's
unique.
upstairs.
It's very unique.
It's in the shape of pants.
But the beer itself, not everyone, they don't taste the same. So you can identify what beer is what.
No. My flight board was like a bunch of things. Like it was like an IPA, a Sessions IPA. It was all. It was
But
very.
they have unique taste to it, in my opinion.
Nah, they were all very similar.
But to get them
They
in
were all-
backwards order
yeah.
is hilarious.
Yeah, they were all very similar. I hear what you're saying. It was harder than that.
No, I'm not good at it either. We played this game once in a podcast where we had we called it Guess the Shitty Beer. So we had our engineer at the time buy a bunch of beer that we don't know and pour them out that we can't see what he pours, and we will drink it, and we have to write down what we thought it was. So he gave us a list of, here's the 6 beers you're going to drink. Like this is guaranteed the 6 beers you're going to drink.
They didn't give you that. Like,
No, but the thing about shitty beer, they all taste the same.
that's true.
So we had like Coors Light,
I was
Miller Lite,
meaning to go to the 7-Eleven and get a big can of
Four Locos.
Budweiser, and just keep mentioning that it was the king of beers and that it was Beechwood Age.
Wait, we gotta get the Beechwood A's, bro. You
Yeah,
know,
it's-
nobody knows what it is, but you gotta get it.
Yeah, I think that, look, if anybody's out there brewing, you need to make a beer called Beechwood Rage, just to fuck with them. That's a great beer name.
I think you should.
Yeah.
That's Beechwood Age. That commercial was so bullshit. That was so
It's
dumb.
Beechwood Age. And it's not beechwood like driftwood from the beach, but that's what I picture. I picture them just grabbing a bunch of
Wait,
driftwood.
I thought that was supposed to be the whole
No,
thing. They got
it's-
driftwood.
No, it's Beech. Beechwood. And what Beechwood does is it speeds up the brewing process and makes it to where, so a lager takes 3 months to make. They can pump it out in a month and a half. They can pump it out as fast as an ale is pumped out. That's
That's bullshit. I thought they were pulling out logs out of the fucking sea. That's what it's called, Beechwood Age.
It's a Beechwood Age processing. It's not actual beechwood.
I really thought it was Beechwood.
That is amazing. No,
Fuck that commercial. They had the beach in the commercial.
it's still not beechwood. It's Beech.
They had Beechwood in the commercial on the beach.
That's probably just to fool people like you. What's going on, Brian? As I'm dressed as a wizard.
Well, then I wouldn't doubt your opinions.
We never do. Never do.
This screams authority.
It does.
It's sort of, pardon me for, sort of a Gandalf, a young Gandalf with glasses.
That's right.
That's what
I'm
I was going for.
Gandalf the Brown instead of Gandalf the Gray.
You know what's right.
That's right.
I told him if I was, I Ubered here. I said if I was driving my own car, that I would have had more props, and the staff was one of them.
Uber, no staffs on you.
Correct.
I like the hat, the wrinkle.
To me, I thought it was the Harry Potter hat, the sword hat.
The sorting hat, it doesn't talk. Gryffindor.
Yeah, that's a different show.
I think it looks like it a little bit. All we need is to cut a mouth into it.
I cut a mouth into all sorts of things and then have sex with it. That's not true.
I feel like it's a manly thing to do.
Yeah. We'll just tell your mother we ate it all. American Pie reference.
Yeah. I remember. That's why it had me dying laughing. It feels like a apple pie. The dumbest thing ever said. You know, I believed it too until I had sex, and I was like, "Oh, that's a dumb reference."
You're like, it's more like spider webs.
A warm spider web.
I want to make a reference to it. Damn, I missed my opportunity to make a reference that had nothing to do with it. It would have been better. It's like a shoebox full of lunch meat.
Kind of is better reference. By the way,
It's just because it looks like an Arby's roast beef sandwich.
all the time, I won a little bit of
Tub swag.
Tub swag. We had the event here last weekend.
Is this your number? Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm not putting it out there. Might not even know my number's on the website anyway. So we had an event here for the Warriors Association. What was it called? The Warriors.
Sure. I was serving beer. I don't. It was something about 420, and they were gonna get them high. I don't know.
No, I think that's not it. The link's in the description, or I'm put it across right here.
I think it was that.
It was
I
a
work
veteran.
here.
It was a veteran organization, and they were doing a Tub Swag giveaway while proceeds were going. Some of the proceeds were going to the organization.
You got a free 6-pack at the brewery in that glass. That's what those little.
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah, what those wooden chips are.
Does that work for the anniversary
Yeah.
this weekend?
I don't know, but that is this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
You should show up and demand your free beer.
Yeah, I know. It says Saturday from 12 to 3.
Yeah, there you go. Every Saturday, I want my free beer, bitches.
I want my But I got a hat, I got a shirt that's awesome, and I got free beer. So, and a glass, which is awesome. So
I like that these hats are like baseball hats from the 70s.
I know, I wish it was a flat bill though.
I don't know what that means.
Like, this is a flat bill.
Can't you just flatten it? Look, what's this?
Yeah, but then you wrinkling it. See how you wrinkled it? Thank you.
It's flat now, is it not?
No, it works. It works, Les. I'm not arguing with you.
I felt like that thank you was sarcastic.
You're so aggressive. But thank you to Tubbs. Thank you to the
Matt, the Tubbs rep. He used to rep St. Arnold's.
Nobody reps St. Arnold, just FYI.
Well, he used to be the rep for St. Arnold's. It's better that he's the rep for Tubbs because, Tubbs went a lot of places at the 3-year mark. Start getting like it's a make or break year. I feel for breweries.
Noble Ray.
Yeah, correct. We'll discuss. Tubbs started making DDH, started kicking out better versions of Full Grown Man. Noble Ray had some really cool can art.
Really cool can art.
Yeah, awesome can art.
And I like Baramtis.
And some really good can art.
And Baramtis.
Some really good can art.
And Baramtis.
I'm so shocked that they went out of business.
It's true. Here's the thing about, in general, there's going to be a lot. So this is how I feel about business, or like craft beer business, I should say. Like narrow it down. You got to have a passion to do it. Now, meeting the people at Noble Ray, they're super nice, super fun. I would like to drink with them. Now, if in our short 2-hour meeting or hanging out together, I didn't feel the passion for making beer, but I felt like they were cool people.
So are these the people who were actually the brewers, or who are these people?
One was the brewer, one was the owner.
So my biggest thing, and I don't want to talk shit about people on fucking Medium, but when I would go, they had a tap room that was in Farmers Market.
Yeah, their second tap room.
Every time I went there, whoever was working, and it was always a different person, they were never facing forward. They were always facing backwards.
The back to the crowd.
Yeah, and they were on their phone. They were reading a book. They were rocking a baby.
I mean, rocking a baby, you gotta do what you.
No, you think I'm joking?
I believe you. I've seen that at the home main
Yeah.
bar.
Like, none of them were facing forward. How am I supposed to order? How am I ordering a beer from you if you're not looking at me?
It's tough. It's hard. It's tough when you can't really monitor your employees, and that's why it's tough to have a second facility.
Okay, I get that, but when you hire somebody, you hire that you are going to trust that they are going to do your job.
You have to give it trust to. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you don't pop in. Like, there's cameras here. Todd can watch whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm doing. If you know.
But this is their main facility. It's tough.
Not that he is doing that, but he can do that.
No, he
and
can.
he's the owner, and he has the right to do that because I am representing his brand, and I need to represent it the way he wants me to represent it, not the way I want to represent it.
Of course.
You know.
Because it's his business.
Yeah, correct. At the end of the day, he's, it's his money.
It's liable because if his business goes under, it's hard for him to replace it.
And I get that you have to have a certain amount of trust with employees. Most definitely you do. But you also, like, I don't know, maybe you show up and tell people to face forward. That's bartender 101. If I'm sitting in a seat over here, which I don't do, but let's say if I am, I'm going to be facing forward. If I'm going to be on my phone, because a lot of stuff is on my phone that people maybe don't even know I'm doing, it may look like I'm just slacking off because of Untapped and
the social media.
Digital Pour, and social media. I'm still going to be facing forward. I'm not going to have my back turned to you.
Yeah,
But let's get off this subject because I feel I'm bashing.
No, you're not wrong on that. You're not wrong on that. What I would say is this. What I mean by why I didn't feel the passion from them, like I said, I liked them. But like again, it's only a 2-hour window. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're the greatest people in the world and I want to hang out with them every day. But I'm saying for the 2-hour window I've met them, they're really nice and really cool, and I had fun.
Yeah.
And they were cool, but I didn't see the passion. When I first met Carl, when I first met Todd, when I first met some other brewers, I'm not gonna go down a list of brewers I've met.
Yeah, you've met a lot of people.
When you talk to brewers or people who really love beer, that seeps through. And I met people who just into it.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like there's people who just into it, who like to party, that's gonna open breweries, and in the next couple of years, they're gonna pop up and fail. They're gonna pop up and fail.
Oh, we're definitely in a bubble market. We're going to see. It's a volatile situation because we've reached critical mass. So you're going to see, unfortunately, more places full.
I don't think we reached critical mass yet, but it's critical mass for how much profit you think you're gonna make. Because people get into the business and think I'm gonna make $1 million. There's no way you're gonna make $1 million.
Yeah, not everybody gets to sell out to InBev, Revolver, St. Arnold.
But even if you don't sell out, let's say not everybody's gonna be
AB or whatever the hell they're called now.
whatever they call
changed
it.
their name
several times.
Yeah.
No, but it's not gonna be like you just say it's not gonna be Pensacolas. Like if I open a brewery now,
If Michael Petticolas ever sells out, I don't even know what. There's no way that would ever happen.
well, first of all, he doesn't like it. Yeah,
Ever.
he openly talks shit about other people selling out.
If he sells out, I don't even want to live in that world. Like, I'm gonna need to leave Dallas permanently.
That's what I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like not every brewery that opens up now is gonna be a Pensacolas.
Yeah,
Now,
for sure.
Pensacolas is not the biggest name in DFW.
No, it's not.
But they're in my opinion, they're the benchmark of where you want to be.
Well, because they were at one point in time the biggest name. It's hard to hold on. You just want to. So.
I just feel like you
can't
want to
be
be a
concerned
benchmark.
about a competition. Mm-hmm. You need to be concerned about your profit and loss and what you can do. You can't look at it like, well, I want to be bigger than Turning Point, because Turning Point is huge right now. A year from now, probably not.
We'll see.
It's going to be something else. Celestial is huge right now, and a year from now, it's going to be something else. It's just one of the things ebb and flow. Why I feel Petticolas has it climbs, but it's also steady. It's Petticolas is a staple.
Exactly.
Without Petty, every place in Dallas that has craft beer has Velvet Hammer. Period. You can't go into a place that has craft beer that doesn't have Velvet Hammer.
Lone Star Taps and Caps, Social Pie, Thirsty Growler, Bluff You Growler, Brain Dead. We talked about earlier. I don't know if that was on this part of it, the one we lost.
Yeah. I feel that it's weird with Brain Dead. I really, really like Brain Dead, but there are people who really, really don't, and I don't know what I'm tasting that they're not tasting.
What do you mean as far as beer or food?
Beer. The food, you know.
The food's
I'm not
okay.
going to judge it on the food because it's the beer. The food's good, but you know, that's not what I'm talking about.
Okay, I just want to clarify. As far as beer, there's nothing I've had from Brain Dead that I'm like, that's fucking phenomenal. But there's nothing I had that I'm like, that's fucking disgusting.
Brain Dead Red.
It's good.
I think it's phenomenal. That's what I'm saying. I feel, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I'm a huge, but there's certain,
But
like,
our taste buds are different.
Yeah,
Everybody's taste buds are different.
Like, for instance, Dankosaurus from Cedar Creek.
Stop.
Love it.
No.
And yeah, see, you're shaking your head. I'm a big fan of Dankosaurus. Blake brewed that, and he's now at White Rock Ale House. White Rock Ale House, I love their beer.
I like some of the beers at White Rock. I like some of their beers a lot. I like
I've
their
never
food.
See, I don't like their food. I like their beer, don't like their food.
Okay. I like the food. I'm a fatty though.
Well, you know, it is what it is.
They got like everything fried out there. Everything's fried at Lakewood.
I've never had in my opinion, I've never had a bad beer from White Rock Ale House. And I also went to their, when they released their first 4 beers, I was at that.
Well, Lakewood is this thing about it. In my opinion, again, similar to Brain Dead. I haven't had a beer.
I think Lakewood is overrated.
Okay.
What do they have besides Temptress? I love you, Lakewood. Don't listen to me. I don't purchase the beer here at Craft and Growler.
What I would say is this. Same thing with Lakewood. I was saying put in the same category as Brain Dead. There's things I like about it, but there's nothing that stands out and like I love about Lakewood.
The people who like Lakewood, or love it, I should say, are really big on the Temptress. And my problem with the Temptress is like, okay, where does it stop? You've got Shoestream Temptress, Butterfly Sprinkle Temptress, Wake Up in the Morning Tuesday Temptress, Need the Button My Shirt Temptress.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that statement.
Iron My Pants Temptress. Like,
no.
If you get on Untapped and you look at Temptress, there's like I don't know, 80 to 100 variants of Temptress. Mm-hmm. Oh, and then there's the year. French Quarter Temptress 2013, French Quarter Temptress 2014.
Well, I'm a big stout fan, so I like the Temptress series. But again, there's nothing about the Lakewood's beers in general that stick out. I'm like, I have to get that. Like, I could skip a year or two without Temptress peanut butter, or they don't do cinnamon anymore, but cinnamon.
I like their tap room. I like the people in the tap room.
No, the bartenders at the tap room, phenomenal. I live right down the street from Lakewood. It's one of my few places that allow me to bring my dog in that area. So I love my dog to come in and hang out with me.
I'm gonna here's some shots fired. You're not white, so that's weird that you bring a dog everywhere.
I don't bring her everywhere. She's at home right now.
And I get that I'm white, but white people are so entitled to bring their dogs anywhere. It's like, there are people who exist with allergies. Like, why do you feel the need, well, not you in general, but why do people feel that they can just bring their dog where, like the Starbucks, wherever the fuck ever, the grocery store?
Oh, people are selfish. Let's start there.
It's not your child, and there are people who are allergic.
Or scared.
Yeah, or scared, correct.
But listen,
but these people who fucking think that, and it's coffee houses and tap rooms where people think they can just bring their.
Here's my thing.
There's a dog that's like 15. It's like my height, and it's smoking a cigar and eyeballing me.
No, here's the thing. So I get what you're saying, and I do definitely think it's a white person thing to bring your dog everywhere. My thing about it is I always represent myself when I go out, especially since I started doing a podcast. So, I never assume I could bring my dog or anybody with me.
No, just bring it in. Fuck it. Let it shit and piss on the floor.
Exactly.
The employees will clean it up.
There's no water for it. So I always go to a place, and when I find out it's dog friendly, I make that a memory. Just because if I ever swing back around here, I can bring my dog.
What does dog friendly mean exactly?
Meaning they have an area for the dog, so you can walk your dog. You have an area for.
Is it going to be outside? Because technically, if you serve food in a joint, you can't have dogs in, and I get that
Lakewood doesn't have
service
food.
dogs can be there. you can't ask if a dog is a service dog, so there's like some loophole.
Well, they have a vest thing.
It makes it
So you
seem
can
like I
always-
hate dogs.
No,
I
you
don't
can-
hate dogs. I just
You
don't
can
think they
always-
need to be in places.
You can always ask a dog if they're service dogs if they don't have a vest. That's not illegal. You can always do it. Is that a service dog?
No, you can't ask somebody if
Because
their
they-
dog is a service dog.
If it's just a random dog, we're not dog friendly. If it's a service dog, they have to identify it and show you paperwork, unless they have his vest.
But they don't. They don't have to.
Well,
you can't ask for it.
No, this place right here, I know Robert personally doesn't kick everybody out, especially if it's something like day like this. You so happen to have your dog,
Yeah.
it's fine. Now, this is not a dog friendly place. This is not a dog welcome place.
My problem is
But at the end of the day-
there's been dogs that I've seen have been and it's like, this is my emotional support peacock.
You seen that video of that lady on the plane with a peacock? No, here's the thing. So
No.
it's not illegal to ask if someone's a service dog if they do not have their proper equipment. Now, if a dog walks in here, and a person's obviously blind,
I like the dogs walking in here.
the dog walks himself too. The dog's just not gonna leave you in your
Just
arm.
sachets in here.
Yeah. No.
This
so
is my bar now.
no.
Woof.
So if you look, you don't look like you have a handicap. You don't look like you're blind. Obviously, you're making eye contact with me.
I think I do look like I have a handicap. I'm dressed in a wizard's costume.
Well, I have the handicap at this point. If you have a wizard outfit,
Mentally
so-
handicapped.
So and then the dog doesn't have the proper equipment, IV,
Like a ninja sword or something?
ninja sword, a vest, and everything. But the vest that says
A pipe? A Sherlock Holmes pipe?
I think it needs a hat too, though. You gotta have the hat.
Yeah.
But what I would say is you need that vest because once they have the vest to identify it, then it becomes like you.
Yeah, but let's talk about the fact that you know what you need. 10 years ago, to be a service dog, it had to do a bunch of training. It cost a bunch of money. Now, for
Still the same thing.
No, for $50, you can get a vest.
No, you get an emotional support dog, which emotional support dogs are not allowed in everything.
I want an emotional support cougar. Actually,
You
what
can-
I want to bring in is a feral cat that I
But
keep
emotional
in a
support dogs are
little
not
pen.
allowed in public areas. They're not allowed in this place that doesn't allow dogs.
Well, we are dog friendly, sir. Don't let my views inform you about dogs.
Not dog friendly because you have food. So
Well,
no.
yeah, but we don't have it. Our kitchen isn't 100% up and running yet.
Not 100%, but this podcast will be out in a couple of weeks, so it might be. It might be.
A couple of weeks. I never even saw the one I was on last time. I could never find it. I figured you just edited it completely
No,
out.
it's on there, but it's the audio. I lost the audio. I deleted the wrong audio file.
Ah, that's what happened. See, I knew something happened.
Yeah.
Every time I'm on here, something horrible happens.
I know. I think you're the bad luck.
I probably am. It's the beard.
It's the wizard outfit. But no, at the end of the day, let's go. We're going to the next subject. Emotional support dogs are not allowed in every public venue. They're allowed to live with you in most places.
Do you know who Bret Tree is? It's this guy who pretends that he's a Trump supporter, and he pretends that he's also a redneck. Hopefully, I'm not offending any rednecks out there. But one of the things he does is he's always raising his emotional support beer. He's like, I raise my emotional support beer to you. And so I've got this, what's going on here? I've got this shirt that has, it looks like a Pat's Blue Ribbon shirt. It's from him, but it says emotional support beer.
I think that's more important than an emotional support dog. And
I lost my emotional support beer on an Uber today. You know who you are, Uber guy.
you're lucky, Uber guy.
Yeah, it was a West Coast IPA by Green Flash that I have yet to sample and can't log on my phone. I need to drink 3 beers every day for the next 40 days to get my Epic badge. Are you even on Untappd, sir? So,
I do not support Untappd. I do not vouch for Untappd.
what's your hatred towards Untappd?
I put Untappd and Yelp in the same category.
You don't have to rate the beers though.
You don't, but I put them in the same category. And I don't like the environment that brings with that rating stuff.
What if you're using it for anarchy and chaos like I did?
Then I support that.
I don't know if you've ever.
But I'm not a punk. I'm not a punk rocker, so I don't know how to anarchy the right way.
I don't know if you can be a 42-year-old punk rocker.
I think you can. Isn't that all of England is a 42-year-old punk rocker?
Well, you know, I think they're probably older than that at this point. 70. It started when I was born. So
I feel like everybody who watched Spotted Train when I was a kid became a fake punk rocker for a couple of years.
So here, for instance, this is my check-in for Nowhere But Texas, the legal draft beer. On the can, it mentioned Steve Helms band. So my check-in is, who the fuck is Steve Helms? Here's my check-in for Hammer Chain Fresh Ground. Are we just running out of things to name beers? Hammer Chain Fresh Ground, now with Mentos, also starring Bo Diddley, with a special appearance by the ghost of Steve Martin's father, trademarked. Unrequited Love, Negro Modelo-like, not sure if the can art is skateboards or Band-Aids. So see, you can have fun with it. You don't have to, No,
it's true. And I appreciate you because I've seen some of your posts people showed me. It's hilarious.
I also do that with, Google, Google reviews. I give every single thing a 5-star, and then I say something crazy about it. Like American Airlines Centers, for instance. I said, this is a very important note. You cannot book a flight in and out of American Airlines Centers. It must be an honorific title.
You're an asshole. You're an asshole.
But that's what I do. I say, I went to this aquarium with my wife, and my review on that was that I was there to look for, you know what Cthulhu is? Mm-hmm. I said I was there to find a Cthulhu, but did not find any Cthulhus, and I was highly disappointed.
5 stars.
Yeah, I gave it 5 stars, and I said, but it's probably my fault because Cthulhu probably is either in the ocean or in Antarctica. But they do have a octopus, and then in parentheses I put octopus means 8 pusses.
Asshole. Maybe not. But what I want to end this is I want to take your opinion as far as being within the craft beer community from the beginning and someone who enjoys beer. What trends do you see that you like and what trends do you see that you don't like within the DFW community?
Well, I'm not a big fan of, as I'm drinking a hazy beer, of the...
Is that considered a hazy beer or just a double dry hop?
Well, can I see through it? If I can't see through it, I can see you.
Yeah, but what is the category? What's a hazy IPA? Like
hazy to me means there's no clarification. You can brew all these beers. Every single one of them get the same taste, same flavor profile, clear.
Yeah, you got to filter it though.
Yeah, correct.
It's unfiltered. Yeah.
Correct. So it's a marketing thing. I don't like the hazy IPAs, not because they're not good, because it's a stupid reason, and I get that it's a stupid reason. I understand. But it's not an IPA. An IPA is bitter, it's piney, it's got that bite to it. Now, if they would just call every single New England style IPA a New England style pale ale, I wouldn't give a shit.
But it says they use IPA bothers you?
Correct. It's the verbiage. The verbiage bugs the shit out of me because it's not an IPA. It's a pale ale. It gives off none of the classic characteristics of what an Indian pale ale is, and it gives off all the classic characteristics of what a pale ale is. So it's the verbiage I have a problem with. That's a huge thing. I think the next thing that's probably going to be big in the area is those slushy beers.
I do not like it.
Like it or not.
903 was a good one. 903 slushy was good, but
it was good.
But it was tough to drink.
But I think that's the next big thing.
But how expensive that it is to make those beers?
I understand. That's why we charge so much for it. Yeah, it's expensive. It's also expensive for the double dry hop thing. Hops are expensive, and then your double, triple. You're throwing what is the fucking chips of? How do they get this? It's oat chips. That's what I'm trying to think of. Oat. You're throwing some oats in there to make it more hazy, kind of like a Pilsner, or not Pilsner. I've been drinking a lot.
We drank for almost 45 minutes plus before we started the podcast. Then did a 30-minute podcast. And lost it.
Yeah, like I've been drinking a lot. I should probably stop, but I'm Ubering home. Always Uber home. Anyway,
we take lifts on this podcast.
Lifts, sure. Take a lift. I haven't downloaded the app. My problem with Lyft is this. is so an Uber, a normally reputable person shows up. When I call for a lift, it's a guy in a rickshaw who's like, "Let's do this, motherfucker."
It's liberals versus Republicans, literally.
and it's frightening. Anyway, so the fruit beers I feel are the next big things,
I feel like the fruit beers, but I just don't think the slushy should be the next thing.
and then it also I think a new trend or a big thing is going to be where they transition to like a lot of brewery collabs.
I hope that's a trend I hope that goes through a lot. Because I like the collab. Like shout out today to Lone Star Tops and Caps. I know we're at Crafting Girls, but Lone Star Tops and Caps just did a Hazy IPA collab with RAR.
Oh, that hammer thing?
Yeah. That came out
What's
with...
that called?
Don't catch me
It's
lying.
got hammer in it.
It has hammer, like, hey, I know it's a Hazy IPA, too. Don't get me lying.
Well, like when you take the collabs of Oak Cliff and Celestial and Turning Point, all those guys used to work together.
Yeah.
So it's a natural fit that they're going to collab and do beers together.
Same thing with Community and Petticoats. They haven't directly collabed on a beer, but they collabed on events together because why? They opened simultaneously, kind of the same time frame, and they know each other. So they're gonna do events together. They always do events together. They always try to work together.
Yeah.
You know, and it's always a friend thing. Like any other business, it's like, who are my friends?
There's definitely competition, but also if you succeed, I succeed. That's kind of how the beer industry is in general, especially in Dallas.
That's why I think the DFW is the better beer industry than anywhere else, just because it's a market. Everybody needs to make money, and everybody needs to make money to survive. But
just because you're making money doesn't mean that I can't make money.
Exactly. And it feels like the old adage saying is a stupid adage, and I know it is a stupid adage, but a rising tide lifts all ships, you know? Now, the size of your ship is different from people, but as long as the market's getting better and bigger, you know, it helps everybody.
As long as you're, as an individual, as a server, as a bartender, as a brewer, as an owner, as long as you're making money, that you're clearing in the black.
Yeah.
You don't be concerned with what other people are doing.
You should never be concerned with what other people are doing.
It's kind of like if you're losing weight, if you're doing, if you're exercising, be concerned with your own goals, not with the guy down the gym who's lifting 300 pounds, has a bench press. Could you lift 100 last week, and now you're lifting 110? Great. Focus on that. Don't focus on what the people around you are doing.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Just focus on like everybody. It's a saying, like, stay in your own lane. Focus on your own lane. Focus on what's in front of you and that you can handle. You don't worry about what's going on around you.
It's a personal embetterment thing. Make yourself better. Make yourself a better person. Make your brewery better. Make your brand better. Make your company better. Do what you can do with a certain amount of integrity, and don't worry about the rest of it. If you're doing that, you should be fine, especially in this industry.
Yeah.
Like it's a huge community, and we've touched on that before.
But let's be honest, the people saying there's a craft beer bubble, not really. Craft beer, even though within our community of craft beer drinkers, is getting a little bit popular, I don't still think it broke half the population of DFW.
Well, it still continues to rise, but it's not rising like it used to. But that's the truth within it. That's what the bubble is. And plus, if you don't make good beer,
That's the key. People who say there's a bubble, they don't make good beer.
yeah, they do not. If you don't make good beer, people aren't going to drink it. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Like you need to have a good product. And if you don't, like if you come in here and I'm a dick to you, you're not going to come back.
Yeah, and they're gonna associate with the bar.
Correct. Like it's one of those things. There's certain things that you can police, I guess, is the best term for it. You need to be, friendly, affable. You need to have a reason for people to come back, regardless of what your business is.
Yeah.
But especially in this industry where everything is connected and everybody people like Jerry,
Yeah.
he's a part of the community. He's everywhere. That's just one. He's just the first guy that comes to mind.
Well, he's
But-
also the most nicest and personal person you meet in the industry, and he's the best representation of what the craft beer industry is.
Correct. But
Because-
he's literally everywhere. Like, you know, if there's a big event, Jerry's there.
yeah.
You know.
And you watch his feed, you see everything. He's always like, if he's not there for the whole time, he's there taking the pictures, promoting your event.
Yeah.
And he's hanging out.
And he's always nice, always approachable, soft-spoken dude.
But even that's what I'm saying, the best representation of the industry, because if you want anybody in the craft beer industry introducing you to beer, I think there's so many people I like in the industry, but I think Jerry's the best.
Yeah.
It's even keel, easy approachable, warm, like there's a warm sense of personality
Yeah,
with
he's
him.
someone you want to have a beer with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, cool. Like, I think you're great. I think Robert's great. I think Todd's great. I think Todd from Oak Cliff is great. I think all these people are great to represent the beer community. I think Jerry's just a better representation of all those people, including yourself and myself as well.
Yeah.
Like, if we're going to put a spokesman up, I think Jerry's the spokesman.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
Of
people
North
would
Texas
agree.
beer, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of
I'm
people
behind
agree.
that. Yeah.
Like, he's our mayor. He represents us as a community. On that note, I like to end that on that thing.
Yeah, let's do that, man.
Shout out to Jerry. Thank you for coming on the podcast, Les. I love you,
sir.
brother. Salud. Everybody have a great, safe weekend. Don't drink and drive. Take a Lyft or Uber.
Whatever, man.
Or be crazy. Take a Lyft. But support Jerry, NTX Beer _. You can follow him. Les, social media.
Les Amalek, essentially everything. Facebook, Instagram,
Untapped.
Yeah. Twitter.
Oh, shit. I got to follow you on Twitter.
Yeah.
Gotta do that.
ZMOLIK.
Done. And then you guys have a good one. Peace.